Hello, welcome back to another edition of Metaverse in the News. I'm Ed Haravan, co-founder of Get Real. I'm here along with my partner Rob Merrilees to talk about impacting headlines that are affecting the adoption of the Metaverse in today's culture. Rob, last week, back in the news, some of our favorite topics here on Metaverse in the News, dealing with universal platforms, Ready Player Me, even Andreessen Horowitz, one of the biggest, if not the biggest names in venture capital, making an investment in Ready Player Me. $56 million was the headline to help them expand their cross-platform avatar application to reach even more potential developers and expand on functionality. Just from a deal perspective, this caught my eye because for applications, so things not related to hardware, $56 million is one of the bigger numbers that I've seen for an investment. And when you see a name like Andreessen Horowitz behind it, you certainly can't help but deduce that, you know, the metaverse is going to be here to stay for a long period of time. I know they've raised a special gaming fund that's focused in some part on the metaverse. But this was a pretty significant news piece, pretty significant investment. We've talked about Ready Player Me and its tie-ins with spatial and other platforms out there. We've talked about what that universal avatar might mean in terms of e-commerce and NFTs and digital fashion. But Rob, curious to know what your take is on this. I think it's something that bears watching going forward.
Well, Ready Player Me, I think you're right. I think it's a really big story. It's obviously a large commitment from Andreessen Horowitz into the space and into this particular application or use of digital fashion. So if you think about Ready Player Me, and we're of course very familiar with Ready Player Me because they're tightly integrated to a lot of platforms, including one of our partner companies, Spatial, which allows people to then customize their avatars, right? And allow for individual expression, and you don't have to be the same every day, and it's pretty easy. It's really easy to use, and you can, you know, show up in different outfits and or just change certain aspects of your attire. And so once the brands, Prada and others, get into an integration with Ready Player Me, then you're going to have the ability to wear your favorite fashion house attire across multiple platforms, and really create your own identity. And I think that's what the bet is that Andreessen Horowitz is making here, which is really betting on people to want to establish their own identity across in their metaverse persona, in their avatar, and to do it in a pretty seamless way. And so that's the bet. If you think about, we were talking earlier this week about Fortnite, right, and Epic Games, and how Fortnite is free to play, but it's not free to customize your player. You can go ahead and buy digital fashion skins in order to customize kind of your own look and your own persona. And I think that this is, and you know, they built a massive business around that approach. And I think that's probably, you know, what the bet is here too. What's your perspective?
Well, we've talked about it before, and whenever I see some of these big, you know, your Louis Vuittons or your Nikes or your Adidas or your Pradas coming into the metaverse, you know that they're trying to get a handle on what the demand is going to be on this fashion and wearables, and how they can put their presence not only to greet a whole new audience, but also to be on this ever expanding kind of platform and be universal across many different applications. A $56 million bet, though small relative to maybe the rest of the investment world, but I think pretty massive relative to the metaverse, um, to me says this a bet of the brands are coming. This is status symbols in real life are going to become status, just to be the same value as status symbols in the metaverse. People are going to want to look and dress unique. They're going to want to wear these trends. And I think you're seeing that people are not only just trying to use digital fashion, digital wearables to promote their in real life brands, which I think is very valid. I think there's just a separate market that's going to stay digital. And people are going to, flip it on its ear. How do brands like Prada or Nike or Gucci or whoever might be in there, how do they stay relevant in the metaverse? And so Ready Player Me is offering this developer platform that lets them, that now is going to have so much more capital to expand and to be able to penetrate. I think this is just a sign that that's where the demand's coming, and we're going to see more and more about it, each month as we get deeper into this investment.